पार्लमेंट असल्यामुळे मध्ये मध्ये बोलायचा हक्क आहे सगळ्यांना, एवढ्यासाठी चालतंय. मी 2 गोष्टी मिस केल्या. आपण ज्या व्यक्तीकडून आपण ऐकणार आहात त्याच्याविषयी 1-2 गोष्टी ऐकल्या तर जास्त आवडेल. हे खरं तर कम्प्युटरचं हे असतं. त्यांना कोण म्हणाले रिटायर्ड आहे? हे पहिलं स्टेटमेंट त्यांना बघितल्यानंतर केलं. ॲज यंग ॲज एनिबडी इन दिस कॉलेज. दुसरी गोष्ट, मी आता माणूस कुठल्या पोस्टवर पोहोचला ही गोष्ट दुय्यम आहे. प्रिन्सिपल सेक्रेटरी होते अशी आपल्याला ओळख करून दिली, सांगितलं. प्रिन्सिपल सेक्रेटरी म्हणजे टॉपमोस्ट ब्युरोक्रॅटिक पोस्ट इन द स्टेट. त्याच्यावरती झगडे साहेबांनी काम केलं. अनेक जबाबदाऱ्या सरकार. आता त्याच्याविषयी बोलण्यापेक्षा 2 गोष्टी ज्या मला अतिशय पहिल्यांदा भावल्या, फक्त त्यातलं मी आज मुद्दाम सरांची वेबसाईट सकाळी बघितली, यांच्याविषयी वाचत होतो, पेपरमध्ये बघितलेलं आहे. अनेक गोष्टी आहेत पण प्रत्यक्ष आज भेटलो. त्यातल्या 2 गोष्टी फक्त मी तुमच्यासाठी सांगेन. की पहिली गोष्ट, त्यांचं ऑफिस होतं 32व्या मजल्यावरती आणि सर लिफ्ट वापरत नव्हते. म्हणून सर असे केअरफुल आहे. पहिली गोष्ट हे अर्थात मला स्वतःला शिकायची. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट, ते माणूस कुठल्या पोस्टवर जातो, काय हे आहे, सगळी गोष्ट हे आहे. आपण माणूस म्हणून कसे आहोत हे जास्त महत्वाचं आहे. आणि त्यातली मला भावलेली जी गोष्ट मी वाचली ती अशी की ते जेव्हा रिटायर झाले त्याच्यानंतर त्यांना एक ऍडिशनल जबाबदारी सरकारने दिली होती. त्यांनी त्याच्यासाठी मिळणारं सगळं मानधन एका रुग्णालयाला दिलं. माणूस म्हणून ते किती महत्वाचे हे पण आपल्याला कळलं. आणि सर मला राहावं नाही म्हणून
थँक्यू. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. तुम्ही TRP फारच वरती वाढवून ठेवला. माय यंग कलीग Ramesh Chawanji is the Chief Executive Officer of Jila Parishad Pune, Dr. Markandeji, Principal of this college, and the Speaker Ma'am, and all Prime Minister, his cabinet, and all MPs from ruling party as well as the opposition. I must congratulate your college and you people to have conceptualized the idea of participation in the your parliamentary proceedings and recreating them in your college, and this is your 2nd edition, if I'm right. This program is going on for too long, and some of the colleges are pioneering this and have taken it on a very larger scale. But nonetheless, you people have done it wonderfully well. You let your principal may criticize you because it is his right to do, guide you. But I am trying to, appreciate your efforts. Very well done. I have, in fact, had the privilege of sitting through the proceedings of state legislature for 16 years, on and off sometimes in Parliament. Had an occasion to sit through the British Parliament and once in Bundestag of German Parliament. So this is the background. But compared to that, you are just one day or few hours of MPs and government and compared to that, you are doing wonderfully well. Of course, there is always room for improvement. Always room for improvement, and you will eventually learn. Probably you have learned this from Lok Sabha TV and all that. Am I right? It's not a good way of learning it. You should have recreated your own thing. Next year, please don't watch. Of course, there may be some different MPs and the Prime Minister and the Speaker, but tell them, don't watch that. You create yourself something that is there. You are not supposed to copy anything. You are the young people. You must have your own thing. Like what we are doing today, we are talking, you are the part of this parliament, is part of democracy. Isn't it? You are the product of democracy. What is democracy? You are implementing democracy, but do you really know, do our parliamentarians know what democracy is? Or whether they have lost track of democracy in this country, or for that matter across the world? Now you people are to challenge whether our parliamentarians, our leaders, our MPs, or Prime Minister, whether they have lost track of what is democracy. Democracy started on this planet about 2,531 years ago in the city called Athena by Clisthenes, and that was the first experiment of democracy. However, in India also there were like Mahajanpadas and all those things around the 6th century before current epoch, about 2,700, 800 years ago. It started in this country also, but there is not much of documentation except for some of the visitors from China and those who accompanied Alexander the Great. They have written about democracy. There are about 2,234 definitions of democracy. Democracy for you is like, okay, it creates parliament through elections and then, but there are many. But the definition of democracy which I like most, which was given by Aristotle. Aristotle was critic of democracy, never liked democracy. But the definition given by Aristotle is still one of the best definitions. For me, it is the best definition. What it says, the rule of majority on those who are weak, and weak are always in majority. You understand? You understand the purport of this? Weak are always in majority. Throughout the history, weak people are always in majority, and their rule is democracy. Now you people have to challenge whether there is rule of weak people on this planet today. That should have been the debate. Now you people should start debating. Now it is your planet, it is your country. You must really try to understand whether we are going, all our governments across the world are going as per the classical definition of democracy or not. I am not passing any judgment, I am not giving my own opinion, but you people should challenge, analyze, think, and if necessary, recorrect the course of implementation of democracy for those who are weak and are in majority. Isn't it? Or am I right in saying so? Wrong in saying so? Why do you say so? Why do you say so? There has to be some test to it. There are too many tests to it, but I will not. I speak on this topic for at least 2-3 sessions on this particular topic. I will not take much of your time. You must be tired, must be hungry, and let me tell you one thing. When I retired in 2018, and Election Commission, they convened a meeting in Mumbai University by the Election Commissioner to deliberate on how to minimize the misuse of money, muscle, and media misuse in elections. That was the thing. And I was also invited. Normally, nobody likes to listen to me because I speak out my heart, and many times people do not like it. So I told the election commissioner, who happened to be my chief secretary earlier, I said, "Yes, sir, you called me, but you know what I'm going to speak. Don't speak much. Speak for 2-3 minutes." I said, "Okay, that's enough for me." Then I showed them 3 slides, and the slides were right. Today, we consider democracy, every one of us, is that by the people, for the people, and of the people, by the people, and for the people of Abraham Lincoln, which he said in a Gettysburg Address in 1861, while dedicating a war cemetery to the nation. 271 words of his speech, of which of the people, by the people, and for the people has become the definition for the world. Now, which is of the people, by the people, for the people. And I said in that conference that whether today's democracy across the world, whether it is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Is it? Is it? Then I told them, of course, I took a lot of my time and I convinced them that today the democracy has become of the money, for the money, and by the money. You people should understand this, that it is the challenge for your generation to recorrect the course of progression of democracy. You can have parliamentary things, you can have all these things, but there has to be fire within. That what is happening today is not all that good. And I am not alone in saying so. there is, like company for me who agrees with me, or there are many people agree with me. There is one Nobel laureate economist, Joseph Stiglitz. He had written one article, article on women's issues like cosmetics and all that. Normally economists do not write articles in, like women's. And the name of that article was, of the 1%, by the 1%, and for the 1%. Who are these 1%? These are the moneyed people across the world. These are the people who drive the countries, who drive the political parties, who drive the policies, who drive the preparation of laws, rules and regulations. And that's like we merge our thoughts. Joseph Stiglitz and I have the same name, and many of you. You must understand what is it. We normally check our health parameters. What is my BMI, body mass index? You're aware of it?
Yes.
After 30, 40 people start becoming this thing, you start measuring. You should always keep your body mass index below 23. Then your body temperature, sugar should be below 100, and your ideal blood pressure should be around 80, 100 and all of that. So to measure health of democracy, are there any parameters? Is there anybody doing? Is there any doctor who is measuring the democracy? In fact, over a period of time, democracy should get strengthened. Isn't it? Like it started before 2,531 years ago, it should gradually increase. It did not increase. In fact, there was break. Then in 1215, Magna Carta came in, and then in Glorious Revolution of UK, and then the Constitution of United America, and then how the democracy is emerging, and world started shifting from autocracies and kingdoms to democracies post World War II. So we must expect that democracies are getting strengthened. But when we are saying that it is of the 1%, by the 1%, for the 1%, or of the money, by the for the money, that means it is reversal. It is not getting strengthened. So we must measure whether democracies are becoming healthier or their health is going downhill. There are quite a few agencies across the world. They measure health of democracies. These are called democracy indices. One of such is economists. You must have heard. I don't know whether you have heard, because you are the engineering students. You should keep on reading about the economists also. Very topmost fortnightly is economist, and they have got economics intelligence unit. From 2006 onwards, every year they measure health of democracies of 126 countries across the world. Most of them are the larger countries. Very few of them are missed out. And painstakingly they do the research. There are 60 parameters they measure. I'm dismayed and saddened by the fact that over a period of from 2006 onwards, every year democratic health is going downhill across the globe, which is a worrying factor for you people, for your children, for your grandchildren. See, man is born free, and democracy guarantees you freedom. But if it is going downhill, and if we are going backwards towards the autocracies, this is not a good sign. That means something is wrong. And you people should be woken up on that. What is this wrong is happening? It's not just because you have to earn your salary. Of course, you have to earn your support your family members, your relatives. But unless and until there is freedom, this is meaningless. This is a very long issue. But post 15th August 1971, when the Bretton Woods system that controls the world's economy that got demolished, capitalism increased. Today, capitalism, do you like capitalism? Nobody likes capitalism, but this capitalism has engulfed democracies. Money power has engulfed democracies. And you know what happened in 2008? Lehman Brothers. Everybody went far. So, to have this thing, to restore the democratic values and not the money power, we must have purity of democracies. Today, democracy is encroached upon by many, and this doesn't stop here. Even the capitalism is also under threat now. Today, there is techno-feudalism is growing, and no governments are able to control that. What is techno-feudalism? You are a technocrat, you form some kind of environment, business environment, and you earn money. Like Elon Musk. He is now, earlier only governments used to afford to go to space. Now Elon Musk is going to space at the expense of what? Money that you are giving to him. Jeff Bezos is spending the money which is going from you. So this is not democracy, it is techno-feudalism. And if you go by the 2018 report of World Economic Forum, in the next 15-20 years, today's 65% jobs are going to go vanished. You will be created because of fourth industrial revolution technologies like your artificial intelligence and genomics and this and that and robotics and 3D printing and whatnot. But democratically elected governments are not doing anything about this. They are not aware of it. Today's employment rate or the businesses that are going down, distributive businesses, not concentrating in own hands, they are going down. Therefore, the planet is going to, see, after World War II, there was the largest class created was middle class. Most of them was on small businesses, services, and all these things. But if the elected governments, democratic forces are, if they are going to look back differently, then probably this planet will create people with no jobs. This is the largest class, and that is the challenge for democracy. So there is twin challenge for democracy. Number one, to strengthen itself, to keep the power in the hands of those who are in majority and are weak. And second is about to keep the jobs and small businesses distributed. And this is for the parliament that you are doing. Nothing else. Of course, I do not want to go on and take pleasure away from your lunch, nice lunch that is awaiting you. So I'll come back to you on many topics if you want. We can discuss, deliberate. But going by today's debate, I would have one suggestion to make. There is Oxford Union debate. Have you seen Oxford Union debate? Yes. So you must start that. Like debate, 10 minutes, speaking something. Take topic of the current current topic, what is happening, and start debating on that. You create, why you have to go to the Oxford Union to watch on YouTube and all that? Why not here in Sinhagad College? You should do that, and people should across the world, they should watch you. Why you have to always look towards the Western world? You are the world. Let me tell you one thing in the matter, and I will end with that. We want to be the world economic superpower. If you want, how do you become it? How they are going to become it? You must know. Today's USA is the super economic power. Their GDP is about $26 trillion. So we have to be more than $26 trillion. But we are talking about $5 trillion. When we exceed $26 trillion, then we will be economic superpower of the world. When are we going to have that? Or whether we are going to at all have it or not? You people should question it. It's not just $5 trillion economy. But more importantly, consider our population and the per capita income. If you have to have per capita income like USA, then only you can be economic superpower of the world. So $26 trillion is not enough to become economic superpower of the world. $26 trillion for India is not enough. How much we have to have? $110 trillion. If our economy grows to that level, then we will be economic superpower. Not until then. But when we say that we want to be economic superpower, that's a wrong statement. Why is it wrong? Can anybody tell me? Why is it wrong statement? Correct statement is we want to be again economic superpower. For about 1800 years, this country, along with China, we were economic superpower of this planet. Either number one or number two. till 1750, until the advent of industrial revolutions, India used to be either 20%, 25%, 30% of the world's GDP. We were this already economic superpower. We want to again become that. It's not, of course, something happened and our rank went down drastically. So we have to again reassert ourselves to become economic superpower. But it is not just fighting economy. If you want to really achieve what US has achieved, we have to exceed $110 trillion. Whether it is achievable or not, I do not know. It is for you technocrats, you thinkers, you must really deliberate on this. Otherwise, it's like, okay, something came on WhatsApp, it is on Facebook, then like on X or not Twitter, and that's our like knowledge base now. So start thinking about all these things. I'm really thankful to your principal and the colleagues of yours who interacted with me and brought me here and gave me an opportunity to witness wonderful parliamentary proceedings here. Thank you very much.